The book, The Discovery of India, authored by Jawaharlal Nehru, the country's first prime minister, is a journey through Indian history. While Nehru was detained at the Ahmednagar Fort in 1946, he wrote the book in over 5 months. With a consistent narrative flow, it is broken up into 10 chapters. The historical information is presented chronologically, which provides a lovely perspective on India's past and pre-independence era. The Discovery of India, it is a work of enormous scope and expertise. It is a monumental treatise that examines one of the world's most ancient societies' history, philosophy, art, religion, science, economy, society, and movement. Nehru examines extensively the origins of his life and the history of his India, which ranges from the Vedic era to the British administration in India. For the sole purpose of completing his quest, Nehru restudies and interprets the most important Indian writings, including the Vedas, Upanishads, and the major Indian epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. He also honored great Indian figures like Buddha, Chanakya, and Mahatma Gandhi, who were instrumental in the nation's development. Nehru ranks among the top prose authors due to his honest attempts to explore the origins of his existence around the globe. Nehru was a politician by accident, as he admitted, thinker and a humanist by nature, and a patriot who fought tirelessly until independence was achieved. Even though he was not a learned scholar, his multifaceted intellect had much to offer trained historians, economists, and sociologists. When read, The Discovery of India is an oddly disjointed collection of historical details, philosophical hypotheses, and reflective essays on disparate subjects wrapped in lyrical prose that frequently reaches artistic heights. It is a thesis on Indian history and culture, written by Nehru's Catholic and global thinking. He views India as a friendly foreigner, respects its wisdom, denounces its follies, and studies its past to use it as a springboard for action, pushing and steering history in creative new direction. The book's opening 3 chapters are entirely autobiographical. While the nation suffers from starvation and the globe is at war, Nehru is held captive in the Ahmednagar Fort. He muses about life's philosophy, while rambling about India's past and present in a relaxed tone and democracy's future, before starting to write. He describes the events of his life following his sentence of imprisonment at Almora in 1935, including the illness and passing of his wife and his travels to and from Switzerland. The book's 3rd chapter is the introduction to the discovery of India. Despite his attraction to it, he is working to avoid approaching India and slipping back into his rambling meditations about nationalism and internationalism, general elections, and trips. As a result, the first 3 chapters have a uniquely autobiographical tone and subject. Even after the first 3 chapters, Nehru remains central to the story and continues the autobiographical style. We get the impression that Nehru speaks openly and honestly about what he knows and feels. The discovery does not relate the events in Nehru's life outside the first 3 chapters, but because it illuminates and shows his inner life, it is autobiographical about numerous facets of his character. Nehru is not an academic historian, and his intention is not to recount historical events. According to Nehru's work in The Discovery of India, Hindu is not mentioned in our earliest writings. The first time it is mentioned in Indian literature is in a tantric work from the 9th century AD. Hindu refers to a people, rather than the adherents of a specific religion. Hinduism was in fact an Aryan religion. He attributes the early Vedanta's basis for the resurrection of Hinduism. Shankara, or Shankaracharya, developed a philosophy known as Advaita Vedanta, or non-dualist Vedanta. Claimed this ideology represented the prevalent view of Hinduism at the time. It was founded on pure monism, in which the Atman, the absolute soul, represented the only true reality. Then he presents Swami Vivekananda, who formed the non-sectarian Ramakrishna Mission of Service, and his brother's disciples. It was steeped in history and brimming with pride for India's past. In India, citizens had isolated themselves within their borders. India continued to reflect on its glorious past while the West embraced forward-thinking ideas, contributing to its later decline. Nehru believed that the rational Indian intellect had been extremely capable from ancient times, having even divided society into specialized sectors, which gave rise to the caste system.